Welcome to episode 2
Yay!
of Rainbow Popcorn, the podcast.
The podcast.
We are reviewing queer cinema and camp classics.
Yes.
This week, it is a camp classic
That's gay.
that has gays in it.
Yep.
It's
It's pretty camp.
Yeah, The Birdcage,
The Birdcage.
starring Robin Williams, Nathan Lane, Hank Azaria, Gene Hackman, Diane Weiss, Callista Flockhart, and the guy that plays the son.
Yes.
I forgot that Callista Flockhart was in it,
Yeah.
and then I was like, "Ooh, Ally McBeal."
I was like, every time I watch this, or every time I see Callista Flockhart, which isn't often,
Yeah,
I go, whatever happened to Callista Flockhart?
Harrison Ford, I think.
Yeah.
She was very 90s big, huge
She-
in the 90s.
Bang.
Ally
Ally
McBeal, and
McBeal couldn't top it.
then Brothers and Sisters.
Yeah,
you
she
said the
did
other
that.
day.
Yeah.
But yes, she's in this, and she's apparently 18 in this.
Yeah.
Gene Hackman says.
Yeah.
I love Diane Weiss.
She does this role very well.
This is her role.
Yeah.
This is Diane Weiss's thing. So we are going to talk about the movie The Birdcage, based on Arcade Folly,
La KJ Aux Folles.
Ox Folly,
Yeah.
which, as you can tell by our accents, was a French film.
Yes.
And I know nothing about the French film other than that it became The Birdcage.
That's
We're
all I
gonna-
know about it as well.
We're going to talk about it and rate it on our own pride scale.
Yes.
The first thing on the pride scale is P,
P stands
For pride.
presentation.
and presentation.
Yes.
It's a very 90s look.
It's a very 90s look. It's a very Miami look.
Yes. But in saying that, looks-wise, they've done very well so that you know you're in the house of the straight couple. And you know
yes.
you're in the house of the gay couple.
Yeah.
This one is very clearly South Beach, and one is very clearly not.
Not South Beach.
They've done that very well.
It's very well directed. It's very well shot by Mike Nichols.
Yeah, good job, Mike.
Very good. He does good movies. Mike
One
Nichols.
thing that he did very well, was when Robin Williams, Armand,
Yes.
was putting the soup in everyone's bowls.
Mm.
The way he followed him around the table
Yeah.
was very good.
Yeah.
And I think highlighted the fact that he didn't just go around the table like normal. He went to Gene Hackman, then to Diane Weiss to cover up
Yes.
the Greek boys and girls.
And girls. Don't you have any girls on yours? Like, that's a girl.
I've got a girl, and then the Val, which I'm not sure what's that short for.
Yeah. No, neither do
says,
I.
have a girl, but then turns away when Diane Weiss tries to look. Very well done. What could
That's
Val
a girl
be?
there, isn't it?
What?
Valerio. Val Kilmer.
Yeah, but so the kid was named after Val Kilmer?
No, but have you ever thought what's Val short for when talking about Val Kilmer?
Yes.
Okay. Should we try find out?
Yeah, Val. Man's name Val. Vidal, like Vidal Sassoon.
Val.
What is Val short for? For new listeners to our podcast.
Val.
Oh, Valentine. Or Valerius.
What, he's in Game of Thrones now, is he?
Yeah, from the House
Well,
Valerius.
his dad is a cultural attaché to Greece. That could be a Greek name.
Armand.
Armand. He's a cultural attaché to Greece.
I'm pretty sure it's probably Valentine.
Yeah.
Valentine. Saint Valentine.
Wasn't
Born out of wedlock to Catherine Baranski, that I forgot was in it.
Christine Baranski. Which is not in it much.
Her character name's Catherine.
Yes.
But she's good.
Yeah. Everybody nails their role in this pretty much.
Yes, it's very well acted.
Yeah.
Presentation. A lot of stuff shot on location.
Yes.
Presentation. A lot of bums on the streets. Not hobos.
No, asses.
Man
Not
buns.
donkeys.
Man buns. Not man buns.
The
Bums of men.
It's very the set and the production design, if you will.
Yes.
Very good.
Very good.
Especially when they're changing up the apartment.
Don't add.
Just subtract.
But then the crucifix stays.
The crucifix. I traded it. Oh, that was not an accent. Oh. I traded it for that moose head.
And it came with all his books.
Nancy Drew books.
The Dying Weiss loves that they have.
Well,
they've got the whole set.
This is hell. And there's a crucifix in it.
Yes, well directed, well shot, well designed.
Nathan Lane's makeup in the first show could have been better.
Some of the miming of
beard.
those first drag
A
queens.
bit more cover up on the beadle area.
Yeah, right. Well, RuPaul wasn't a thing. 1996.
Yes.
No, RuPaul's Drag Race
Yeah.
wasn't a thing, and not everyone watched it and knew all about it.
But still, you can see beard. That's still not great makeup.
How's this for a
Starina's also a shit name. Just going to get that out of the way.
Yeah. Does it mean something different in French, and they've just taken it from Le Quai Jocks Follies?
Don't know, but it's not a great name.
Speaking of RuPaul's Drag Race, here's a bit of a blown stereotype. I was chatting to a mate the other day. Oh, well, Friday night, what are you up to? Oh, I don't know. And I was like, I don't know what I'll do, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, usually I'd spend, straight guy. It's like, usually I spend my nights, I'll just sit on the couch and watch RuPaul's Drag Race is how I usually spend my quiet Friday nights. I'm like, I was thinking of having a couple of drinks and watching the footy.
Yeah.
So,
traded roles.
Yeah, I've blown that stereotype up. Of the two of us listeners, have watched about 15 minutes of RuPaul's Drag Race all up.
And I've watched about 15 years.
And the only 15 minutes of it I watched is because it was on while Brett was watching it when I got here one day.
Yeah.
Anyway, so do you think Ru would be saying to Sarina, sashay away? I know that one.
No, the makeup just isn't that good.
But isn't still seeing your beard a thing that would get you kicked out?
Well, not kicked out. Well, it's definitely, she's a good performer and she does the live singing. That's good.
She's also very funny.
Yeah, she'd be all right. But then they'd be like, beard, and they'd all make jokes about it. Ooh, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Ooh.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah.
That's what they call reading. There you go, Lee. There's your
So, presentation-wise, the film is great.
Yes. Great opening shot.
Yes.
Of it's like the thing and then zooms in on the club and then into the club.
Some of those drag queens need to get better at the miming.
Yeah.
Lip sync for your life, not going to go great for a couple
you're
of them.
dead.
This is how in the culture RuPaul's Drag Race is that I've seen 15 minutes
know what it is.
and made 2 references already. Anyway, presentation, let's give it a score, I reckon, as we should every week.
I'm thinking a 3.5 or a 4.
I'm going to give it a 4.
I'm going to give it a 3.5. I'm taking half a point off for the makeup.
Oh, okay.
That's out of 5. So 1 for because it's not a perfect.
But isn't it? Could it be not great makeup because she's rushed?
Maybe
she had one of her many breakdowns.
Yeah, because the makeup's better at dinner.
That's true.
Yeah, but I'm going to say 3.5. Anyway.
But she's not being a drag queen at dinner. She's being a woman.
She's not being Starina. She's being Mrs.
Coleman.
Or whatever your name is.
Depending on...
The D is silent.
Depending on where you are.
Yes.
Next score. The R of pride is for representation.
Yes.
I want to say one thing about representation. And I'm not sure if this is actually in the right spot.
Yeah.
They never call themselves a couple.
No.
And
no.
never partner never boyfriend. It's all, and even in the IMDb plot of the movie, it describes them as a gay cabaret owner and his drag queen companion.
Yeah. Even some of the dialogue, which we'll get to later,
Yes.
they don't refer to each other as partners.
No.
And it's like, he's my friend and companion or something.
Yeah, Robin Williams says, I'm not going to send him away because he's my friend and companion. Like, no, he's your life partner.
Yeah. He's basically your husband.
But then they also have a palimony agreement.
Yes.
But I actually looked up what the palimony was. That was very common for gay couples at the time in America. It was like a prenup,
Yep.
but not a prenup because they couldn't get married.
Nuptials, yeah.
And so it was
There
a
were no
combination of the
nuptials to
word,
pre.
yeah, pal and alimony,
Yeah.
which Wikipedia took great lengths at explaining. I'm like, yeah, I think I get it.
I think it's good. Like, it's a mainstream movie. It
Yes.
centers basically around a gay couple,
Yeah.
but they're not romantic in any way. There's no, like...
There's not even a kiss on the lips.
Yeah.
They kiss on the cheek.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know if that was the way that couples of that age in the 90s described themselves,
I don't think so.
or whether that's screenplay writing avoiding partner,
Yeah.
which
I
I
think
don't
it's the
think
latter.
is good.
No, it's not a good representation of a couple.
And I'm not sure Nathan Lane would have been that good with it.
No.
But
The representation wise, it's very white.
it's very white. Even Hank Azaria.
That portrayal is a bit problematic, I think.
Well, he's not free of problematic portrayals, Hank Azaria.
Basically, he's made his career on problematic portrayals.
And while he is very good at voices, and
voices. Yeah.
the character is funny,
Yes.
and the jokes of the character are very funny. The least problematic of them is the fact that he can't walk in shoes.
But he wants to be a performer, but he can't work in shoes.
No, maybe he could walk in heels.
And the way he always says you with the J.
Yeah. That's part of the accent, which is problematic.
Let's just say the way he always says Jew, but that didn't quite sound right in my mind.
Particularly because of Goldwyn.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. I like that he calls him Miss Albert.
Yes.
As well. So that is a problem. Another problem is that the second drag number is them dressing up as Native Americans.
Yeah. That wasn't great.
No, it was not great. But then, no, there's no... I was going to try and make some reasoning for it, but it's not... I don't know, because I guess dressing up as other cultures is different to cultural appropriation. And I think the headdress is something that is certainly... This is a very meaningful outfit.
Yes.
So shouldn't be worn.
No.
Dressing up for a mamba, which they do later, is not quite on the same level as wearing the Native American headdress.
It's just a snippet in the thing. It's unnecessary, though. You know,
it's unnecessary, definitely through today's lens.
Yes.
It was problematic, but not seen as so problematic in 1996.
No. And not as... The other thing about representation is the straight actors playing gay roles. Not such a big thing 25 years ago.
I was thinking about that, but I was also thinking I'm okay with it. Because... Oh, no, I'm okay with it as long as gay actors can play straight characters. Because one of the big discussion points around this is there have been always actors who haven't come out, because historically, if you do come out, you only get those roles.
Yeah.
Like if Henry Cavill had come out, there's no way he's playing Superman.
Right.
Like they historically haven't cast gay men to play straight men.
Right.
So I'm totally okay with Robin Williams playing Amon because he's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And I think comedically and character-wise, he's right.
Yes.
If then a gay actor can play straight roles, which hasn't always been the case. You getting what I'm saying?
I'm getting what you're saying. But
well, you said it's problematic that straight actors are playing gay.
It's not problematic in 1996.
Well, I don't think it's problematic now.
Well, it's a topic of discussion now.
Yeah, and I don't think it's problematic if anyone can play any role.
Yeah, okay, but there's a finite amount of movies that are made about queer people.
Yes.
That you're fine with straight actors taking those roles away from queer actors.
I'm fine with the right actor being given the right part.
Right.
So if there was a queer actor that could do what Robin Williams does, it's Nathan Lane.
It's Nathan Lane.
If there's a second queer actor that could do what Robin Williams and Nathan Lane does as well together as those two do, and Robin Williams got the part, I'm not okay with that. But Robin Williams is Robin Williams. If you're casting someone that needs to do this role in 1996, the two people are Robin Williams and Nathan Lane.
Yes.
And I know that people will probably say there probably are queer actors that were worked out of the industry because they weren't getting roles.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think Robin Williams is the best person to be cast for this. Last week, Justin Irvin was not the right...
Well, can we just not talk about Stonewall? The movie.
Jonathan Rhys-Meyers... not the right person.
Yeah.
But as we talked about last week, that whole thing is making it straighter, is making it so a straight audience could handle it.
Yes.
It is a fine line in a lot of ways of straight people telling queer stories.
I think the thing that makes it a bit better with this one as well, other than the fact that it's an older one and that, it's not like there were gay Robin Williams just walking around Hollywood.
Yeah.
Because his character isn't so stereotypically camp that it doesn't become like almost offensive. You know what I mean? If it was a straight actor playing Nathan Lane, the way Nathan Lane played Starina, then it's a bit of a taking the piss. But because Armon's more, quote unquote, passable, it's, he's the more masculine one, if I'm using those terms.
Yeah, I still think...
it's going to come up a lot when we discuss representation in these movies.
And I think I'm just going to stay on the line of you got to cast the right person.
Yeah.
And if there are things of this wasn't the right casting because of whatever, then if they're... I'm just trying to work out the best way to say it.
You just hire the right person for the job.
You just hire the right person for the job, right? And if there is a straight person and a not straight person going for the role, you just pick who plays the role better. And there will certainly be times where having that background as a queer person will make you the right person for the role.
Right.
But I think in this case, Robin Williams is the right person for the role.
There could have been somebody else but
There could have been.
we don't know. They could have then had a career. Could have been Alan Cumming. Who knows?
But also, you can say that about a lot of people that are cast.
Yeah.
Like there could be another muscular black up-and-coming actor, but no, Black Adam is played by The Rock.
Oh, right.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you say there could have been someone else, yeah, there could have been. Could have been someone else just as good to play Nathan Lane's Starina. Could have been someone else just as good to play the very bland, straight Val.
Yes.
There's probably a much higher chance that there's someone that could have replaced Val, as is proven by the fact that we haven't heard of him since.
Yeah, true.
So I think
representation.
I think the main problematic thing for me is Hank Azaria.
Yep.
Which, like we said, is not new and not isolated for Hank Azaria. Not that I think he's deliberately gone out and tried to make a career out of being problematic.
No.
It's just he worked as a voice actor in a time where white people did voices of other cultures.
Yes.
Which is not the case, which is why he's not the voices he has been in The Simpsons for 25 years anymore.
Yeah.
Which is the right thing. And he's even said himself, it's the right thing for me to not do these voices anymore.
Yes.
I saw someone the other day comment on a reel on Instagram of a clip from Family Guy.
Mm.
And someone was saying, I just can't handle Cleveland's new voice. Like, he sounds the same.
Really, I don't think I've heard the new voice.
You might have. I didn't even know it was the new voice until I saw that comment.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'll do some research about that because I haven't noticed, but
yeah,
when did it start?
I don't know when it started.
Probably 2020.
Yeah, but it sounds the same.
Yeah.
So that's obviously a person that's just like, it's new, so I don't like it.
Yes.
Even though Cleveland should be voiced by someone that looks like Cleveland.
It's not like Seth MacFarlane doesn't do the voices anymore. It's only Cleveland.
Yeah.
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 I'm giving it a 2 for representation.
Yes. The only people of colour are a couple of the drag queens.
Yep.
And Hank Azaria is now quite problematic. But I think it does represent... I think it represents a trouble of an older queer couple of that time.
I think it does, but it doesn't. It's very surface level.
I don't think it is that surface level.
It goes deep for a bit, but it's... I don't know. I
think it doesn't quite tread that line of serious comment in a comedy as well as it could.
Mm-hmm.
But
there's a couple of moments that
there's a couple of moments. Robin Williams says, "I don't want to be someone I'm not," and "Don't ask me to do this."
Yep. But then keeps asking him to do that.
Yeah. I actually found it a little bit hard to watch because of that storyline.
Yeah, same.
And because of Val's insistence in asking his parents to do that.
It doesn't quite make sense because they seem to have quite a close relationship. Did he do that? You know what I mean?
But it's also, and this might come up a little bit in dialogue when we talk about the writing. It seems he's not telling his father the truth at any point until the last second. It's just before he gets there that he's like, he's the Coalition for Morals.
Yeah.
He drops that on him very late.
Yes. Which
is a flaw either of the writing or of Val as a character.
Well, it's a weird... Yeah, I don't know. Because obviously they had to do it to make that movie, though. There's no movie of, No, we won't pretend to be something we're not. Roll credits.
Yeah, they have to eventually come round to agree to it.
Yeah.
It's very... Yeah, I just think in terms of representing a queer story, I felt that a little bit more, Robin Williams, and the pretending to and the working to try to fit in thing.
Yeah, it also doesn't make sense to me because, like, it's just one night. No, the goal is for then the kids to get married.
Yeah,
So are you never going to see these people again?
But I also...
Or is it just like, okay, you can get married. Oh, thank God. Oh, by the way, I'm gay now.
But at the end, I wrote, like, they're all at the wedding.
Well, at the end, they kind of made up.
Yeah, but he was still like... They made up, but he was still like, I can't be seen here. But there'll be photographers at the wedding.
Oh, yeah, but it's an okay thing now. I don't know.
I think they left out that bit of when it becomes an okay thing for Gene Hackman to be seen with gays.
Yeah.
And maybe that it did do what Diane Weiss predicted and made everybody like him.
Yeah.
Because a wedding's coming.
Yeah. Or it's just a funny scene at the end.
I also didn't really get... It is a funny scene at the end. I also didn't really get why Gene Hackman's Coalition for Moral Order didn't like Jews.
Because they're not...
Christian.
Yeah. Christian family values is what America's built on.
Yeah, but like...
It's not my opinion. That is just me taking the shit.
Yeah, but like... Surely, on the scale of things that Gene Hackman's not going to approve of, you don't have to pretend you're not Jewish. Because there's lots of Jewish people in America who are quite well accepted and well regarded, and there would certainly be in the political circles that Gene Hackman would be a part of.
His whole stance is his thing, so it wouldn't look good if his daughter married
outside the thing.
Yes.
In any way, shape or form.
Yeah.
So we go from Goldman to Coleman to Coldman to Goldman.
To Goldman, the D is silent.
Yeah.
We don't know where her name is, where we are until somebody says her name. So Lee, what are you giving it for representation?
Oh, there's so much. There's one. It does take the piss out of straight people, though.
I always love a movie that takes the piss out of straight people. There's not many.
They're like, how can we make this look like what straights have? Then they put Playboys in the bathroom. It's like, that's what they read. That's not a good accent.
That's what they read.
And then they bring the moose head in.
Yeah,
which I think Gene Hackman would have loved.
Yes.
And then in order to make the gay house look straight, they just made it look as severe as possible.
Yes.
And it is just dull and dark, and the church-size crucifix in their dining room. So I think they do well taking the piss out of straights.
Yeah. So Lee, what are you giving it for representation?
I really don't know. I'm going to give it a 3.
Okay.
Because I actually do think within a comedic context, it shows some of the difficulty and the challenge of gays trying to fit in.
Right.
Culturally, it's not good representation, though.
No, it is not.
Iconicness.
The iconicness...
It starts with We Are Family.
I mean...
Which is a great iconic song to start with, but also suits the story.
Yes, especially the way they close with it as well.
Yes, because it is a story about family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty iconic movie. I think.
Yes.
Whether that's because I love it, I don't know.
Well, when we were putting our list together, we both said this very early on.
Yeah.
In the list of queer movies. So I think, it's a pretty iconic movie. The soundtrack is full of gay icons. We Are Family,
Oh,
Gloria Estefan and Miami
Estefan.
Sound Machine. You can't walk down Oxford Street without hearing it at every club in Sydney. And the park that we walked through on the way home.
Every time I hear that song, I crack up laughing.
Yeah,
because of that time we were in Sydney.
Brett and I went to Sydney a number of years ago now to see
Yes.
Conchita Wurst at the Sydney Opera House. I cried.
Lee cried.
You won't be surprised, listeners of Two Drink Cinema. And then in the foyer at half time, they played Gloria Estefan and Miami Sound Machine.
And I think at that point I was like,
Conga.
oh, I haven't heard this song for ages.
And then we decided to go out on Oxford Street.
Yeah.
Because I convinced Brett that we had one gay night in Sydney, so we should go out on Oxford Street.
To make it as gay as possible.
We went to 4 places on Oxford Street, and all 4 played conga.
Yeah. One guy, I remember this older white guy.
Yeah.
When it came on, the one that had the...
Was he in the Birdcage?
Yeah, the one that had the cages on the sides of the door.
Oh, yeah.
And he was, when it came, he was up, just dancing by
yeah.
himself, doing like little samba number. And I was like, Lee, look,
had
Lee.
all of the nostalgia
Oh,
for when
he
that
was-
song was originally released on cassette single.
He was in it.
That bar, there were guys dancing in the 2 cages that were just either side of the door, and one was in jocks and one was in a jock strap, so his bum was out, and they kind of, one swung out of the cage as some straight women walked in.
It was great.
And timed exactly as the bum swung out of the cage into the doorway as this woman walked. She was very shocked.
Yes.
Miami Sound Machine, Gloria Estefan, Conga is iconic for the gays, but it's also iconic for you and I.
And it's like, it's a very I feel, well, it's Miami Sound Machine.
Sound Machine. It's a very Miami song. The dancers.
What dances?
The dancers. The iconic dancers of Robin Williams. Dancers.
Oh,
Not
that
dancers.
scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you meant people that dance.
Not dancers. Dancers.
Yes. Masha Graham. Michael Kid.
And he does the ovaries.
That is a good scene. It's like,
Yeah.
he's chewing gum. It helps me think. You're wasting your gum.
Try more gum, he says again later.
Yeah.
He's so good.
I don't know.
They're both so good. Nathan Lane's great.
It's iconic, but I don't know. It's like a, wow. Oh, God.
I'm giving it a 4.
That is not good talking.
Because it fits the iconicness of gays know this film,
Yep.
and it references icons.
Yeah. I'm giving it a 3.5.
Okay.
Because anything with Callista Flockhart in it is iconic.
The queer icon that is Ally McBeal.
That is Ally McBeal. She pees with men. That's a
think-
quote from Will and Grace. There you go. Bringing it gay.
I actually do think the gays love Ally McBeal.
You know what? I never watched it. I was a bit young.
Where if you're a little bit older than us,
Yeah.
I reckon it's a bit iconic.
Dancing Baby. It's pretty iconic.
The Dancing Baby's pretty iconic.
But I think it's one of those things that it was very of its time.
Yes.
So it's like, you could not make Ally McBeal the same way now.
No, I think you could make the same kind of style of quirky courtroom lawyer. Is this a comedy or a drama show now?
What, Boston Legal?
Same guy.
Yeah.
But I think Ally McBeal pushed it a little bit further. You can watch
Yeah.
Boston Legal and it's a drama that has funny things. Whereas Ally McBeal, I'm like, is this a drama or is it a 44-minute sitcom?
Is this the original dramedy? Ally McBeal? That and Desperate Housewives?
No, it's Green Acres.
It's not.
I don't know why. Speaking of icons.
Speaking of D, D in the Pride. So I for iconicness,
Yes.
you've given a 4 and I've given a 3.5.
Yeah.
The D in the Pride score is for dialogue.
Oh,
I wrote, okay, in the notes, as you will see,
oh yeah.
I've written quite a number of lines that are hilarious.
It's just like, I'm just saying 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'll tell you why.
Yes.
In terms of comedy, It is absolutely one-liners.
Yeah.
It is just bang, 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 bang. And I need to watch it again without my notes
Yes.
to get them all.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to think and I was trying to write and I missed so many. And not all of them, not all of Robin Williams' jabs at Nathan Lane does Nathan Lane squeal at.
No.
But when, look at me, I'm short, I'm fat, and whatever. And he's like, I made you short.
I made you short.
There's just so many of that ones. And the dynamic between Robin Williams and Nathan Lane is great, which makes this one line bang, 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 bang script work so well because their timing is so good. And even Gene Hackman and Diane Weiss as a comedy timing actress is so good.
Yeah.
And I don't think Gene Hackman's really interesting in that I don't think I could put him as a genre actor.
Well, this is the thing. He's a dramatic actor.
Yeah.
And he always plays an asshole. Everything I've seen him in, he's an asshole.
Yeah.
French Connection, Bonnie and Clyde,
Yep.
Mississippi Burning,
Yes.
Unforgiven. Asshole, asshole, asshole. Actually, he's not too bad in Mississippi Burning because I think he's not as racist as everybody else.
Everyone white in Mississippi Burning's an asshole though.
Except one woman. There might be Marsha Gay hard on.
Lex Luthor, asshole.
Lex Luthor, asshole.
But like Lex Luthor's a bit camp villain.
Yeah.
He's a little bit over the top. But
whereas this is like he is the I don't want to use the word
bad
straight guy.
He's the
you
bad
know what
guy.
I mean? Yeah.
He's the baddie.
Yeah.
He is the antagonist, so to speak, other than culture.
Yeah.
The culture of America in the 90s being the antagonist. But his timing to come in as a dramatic actor and to have such good timing with someone like Diane Weiss is good.
Yeah.
He does it very well. But then to do it with Nathan Lane playing a woman,
Yes.
Gene Hackman is great.
Yeah. Everybody is very good. And the dynamics between all the different characters are very good.
Except Val and Callista Flockhart. I felt nothing.
Nah.
I don't know, like, are they both virgins? Like,
Is that why they're getting married?
there's no connection between them.
Yeah.
And even the funny line that they do have together isn't done super well.
No.
Like, when they're dancing and she says something like, oh, I wish she could be my mother.
Yeah.
And Val goes, that's Albert. That's a drag queen. She goes, oh yeah, I forgot. I'm like, did she forget? Or
No,
she
was that
being
meant to be funny? I don't know.
and making a joke?
And like, there's a couple of scenes that are hilarious.
Yes.
Obviously, the one where Robin Williams, Michael Kidd, dancing kid.
Yep.
The scenes where Robin Williams and Nathan Lane are out in the thing, and he's trying to butch him up, and he's like, "It's a stereotype, but think of John Wayne."
Yeah.
And then he walks, and then he comes and goes, "No good." He goes, "No, I just never realised John Wayne walked like that." And then it's
howdy, Pilgrim.
What's your problem, Pilgrim? And then it's like, how about those dolphins? And he goes, Armand Coleman, you old so-and-so. How about those dolphins?
But then also, when Robin Williams goes, oh, what do you say about that game last night? He goes, I am disappointed and dismayed.
I'm bewildered and something.
And then the right reaction, then Robin Williams goes, I'm not sure. What else have you got? I've got
Talk
with
about
Diane.
I thought Alexander the Great was a fag. Talk about gays in the military.
I've got. They're more obvious when Nathan Lane says them, but some of my favourite ones were Diane Weiss. Like when they're talking about Armand and Mrs. Coleman.
Yeah.
and she says, "Oh, thank goodness they're not snobs."
Yeah.
When clearly they are. Because
Eli
then Gene
Jackson was a
Hackman-
common redneck. We had nothing to do with him socially.
But then she goes, "Oh, well, thank goodness they're not snobs." And then Gene Hackman climbed over the orchard to get into the house. Like, yeah, not snobs. Not snobs. I'm very maternal, and Albert's practically a breast. See, only Robin Williams could, I reckon, have nailed those lines.
Something that I've written, I don't know what's it referenced to. And then the dolphins come back later when there's some awkward conversation.
Yeah,
and
Robin
Robin
Williams
Williams just goes, "How about those dolphins, huh?"
No one responds.
Because a woman is worth her weight in hands and a man's wealth is measured by the size of his cock. It's 5. Dialogue is a 5.
But what then makes also the dialogue a 5 is there's all of that, and we've just watched essentially an hour of Robin Williams and Nathan Lane's one-liners.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to dinner, and Gene Hackman says, "And I drove through the forests of New Hampshire, and the reds were so beautiful. And then
He's like,
the greens of the Colorado as we drove through the Rockies."
and it's like they drove
The whole way across the country.
down the country,
Yeah.
or wherever they are. And he goes, Ohio, Kentucky,
Yep.
Oklahoma, like just naming the states that they went
And
to.
it's just, and that's what makes the script a 5 and not a 4.5,
Yeah.
because it's not just one-liners. Because
Yeah.
you can write a whole movie of one-liners and
Yeah.
give it to Robin Williams and it's going to be a hit.
Because it does the serious bits as well.
Robin Williams has serious moments with Val, and he has a couple of serious moments with Nathan Lane. But the way he writes so deliberately the blandness
Yeah.
of the straight man telling him about his trip
Yeah.
after Nathan Lane's just gone off with whatever is really good.
Just one more time. They use the fag word a bit.
Yeah.
You look. Agador Spartacus gets dressed up.
Why
Because-
Spartacus?
I don't know.
I think they brought him back from Greece.
Spartacus. I don't know. That's all I could think of. Because you look like a fag in uniform, and he goes,
Yeah.
and then he kind of walks off, and in the background, Hank Azaria's like, "Oh, don't ask, don't tell." just quick like that. But yes, very good. A lot of quick one-liners, a lot of good serious stuff that's well acted and well timed. So it's a 5.
It's a 5.
It's a 5 for the
Is that
dialogue.
first 5?
That's our first 5. Well, considering this is our second movie and last week's was a complete shit hole of a
True.
movie, that this category of dialogue might have just beaten last movie's whole score. It's not quite that bad.
I put my entirety, which is what the E of Pride stands for, notes all over the shop, as you can see.
Yes. Entirety.
One of my notes for entirety was, "Oh, Ally McBeal's in it."
And one of my notes is, whatever happened to Callista Flockhart?
And then my other note is, what is Val short for?
Yeah.
I don't get when extras, this is relevant to what we just watched before, when extras don't react to things in a scene.
Especially some of the scenes where Nathan Lane is hysterical, quote, like screaming queen by definition.
We just watched an episode of Cheers
Yeah.
where an extra fully watches a conversation that Norm is having.
She's like, Norman, and she's just standing in the background looking directly into the camera.
Yeah, if you've seen Cheers, there's the hallway that goes to the pool room in the world's biggest basement bar.
Yeah.
And there's a woman standing next to the phone, and there's a woman standing next to her.
Yes.
And those two extras are meant to be having a conversation. But this woman, who was also involved in the pre-opening credits joke that happened 2 weeks before this scene, and she's back wearing the same outfit,
Yeah.
just is watching Norm.
Yeah.
Watching Norm have
She's
this
almost like,
conversation.
oh my God, it's Norm.
Oh my God, I'm on Cheers.
I'm on Cheers. Look, Mum.
Yeah. That's bad.
Yeah.
But also what's bad is when Nathan Lane is a screaming queen in the middle of the street in Miami and no one reacts.
Maybe they're just like, Albert's back.
Oh, Albert's back. True. Everyone
But there's
at the market knows him.
The woman, the old woman, when he's doing his John Wayne impersonation,
Yeah.
she's funny because she's just like, and then he's even like, Hey.
Howdy,
To the-
Pilgrim.
Howdy,
But then when he
Pilgrim.
faints outside that restaurant, that extra reacts.
Yeah.
So if you're an extra, if you're a director, allow your extras to react sometimes
Yes.
to things that normal people in the normal world would react, because that's what extras are meant to be.
Yeah, normal people in the
Normal
world.
people in the normal world
Yeah.
that give it some background.
And it does have a nice moment at the end when Val's like, "This is my mother. Albert's my mother." Oh.
Oh, yeah.
And then Christine Baranski's like, "Yeah, go for it. I've been fucking away for 20 years and now I'm
Yeah.
here for some
It
reason."
was just an ovary.
Yeah. With a great set of legs.
Always. Always a great set of legs. Like, she's like, where did all this hair come from? Because Robin Williams is a hairy man.
Yeah, that was a weird.
He shaved for 1 hour photo. Hashtag 2 Drink
I
Cinema.
don't remember.
No, well, it was a fact that I looked up for 1 hour photo that
Oh.
didn't bring up in our review on 2 Drink Cinema. But because Cy, his character in 1 hour photo, was meant to be very kind of white and bland,
Yeah.
he shaved areas of his body hair to keep kind of with that.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
Diane Weiss is good. We've said it before.
I know we've
It's
said
like, oh, we're staying with the bushes, the Jed bushes.
it. And everything is like, oh, we've got to go there because, oh, you mean near that island where Jed Bush lives?
Yeah, yeah.
Everything's connected to something.
But it's a very well made movie. The dialogue, the writing, and the acting is the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
The ending's quite good. The wedding scene at the end is funny.
Which one's the mother?
Yeah, that's a bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
But no, it's just like the whole like her side, his side, kind of different.
Yes. Huge church.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Every drag queen in Miami's there
Yeah,
to fill that side of the
Yeah.
church. It's obviously a club that everyone in Miami knows too, the Birdcage.
Well, they'd have to make a lot of money to be able to afford that rent.
To be able to afford Starina
That is like prime location on the Miami Strip. That's not what it's called.
on South Beach Boulevard.
I don't know what it is. I don't know. That's where Grand Theft Auto Miami was. That road.
Grand Theft Auto South Beach,
Yeah.
where they steal a little Hyundai.
Yeah. And then they beat up a prostitute. I don't know.
That's what they do. They being the Grand Theft Auto people,
Yes.
not the residents of South Beach.
Yeah.
So it ends with "We Are Family." Gene Hackman changes his tune very quickly. I get the joke of him not wanting to be the only girl no one dances with,
Yeah.
but I do feel like it's a quite quick turn for his character.
It is, but he was like, I have to get out of this situation. Maybe he was just like, I'll do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
And although it is funny, the chauffeur's a dick. Anyway.
But also, you'd know the chauffeur sold you out.
Yeah, so
I'd
don't
be
say
sus
meet
on-
me into this. Not on your life or whatever he says.
Not for $1
Just
million.
kind of funny.
I would totally be sus on the driver straight away.
He's the only person that knows.
Yeah.
And that reporter for the Inquirer, not that smart.
Following him.
The fat guy, he's
Yeah.
not that smart. And then the photographer would have was like, Coleman sounds like Goldman.
I don't get why everyone else, all the other media, were like, had to be, oh, he's put on so much weight. Like,
Yeah, I didn't get that
What
scene.
is
It was
that in aid of?
unnecessary.
is there a Birdcage prequel that we don't know about where this guy's skinny?
I don't know. I don't know why they needed it.
No. You don't need to make
The only
fat
fat
jokes.
person in the movie.
You don't need to make fat
No,
jokes.
it's them doing that was that scene didn't really need to happen. Oh, other than they all rocked up there.
But
at the
also,
end.
no one in 1996 has a microphone that's good. That's that good.
No, I thought that too.
You can't. This is a good microphone. You can't zoom in this microphone. That
No,
we're
that's
using.
not how sound works.
No. Just go like, just zoom in there. Like
The lens
No.
doesn't go into the thing.
yeah, you can't. The sound isn't recorded the whole sound, and then you just pick the bit you want.
Yeah.
It's just recorded anyway. That's a minor flaw. I'm going to give the movie overall entirety. Sorry, I'm
E
going
for
to
entirety.
give the movie entirely a 4.
I'm giving it a 4.5.
Okay.
This could be one of my top 10 movies of all time.
Ooh.
Like, very easy to watch over and over again, and it's always funny. I could watch Nathan Lane walk like John Wayne for hours.
I reckon I could just watch Nathan Lane for hours. And Robin Williams.
There were some times where Nathan Lane was talking like, nah, it just sounds too much like Timon. I'm just like Hakuna Matata, what are you going to do?
He should have just put that in. When did Lion King come out? After this?
Before this. 94, yeah. 1994.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go. Did you know
the half a mark off is, which doesn't quite make sense to the other scores I've done, is just there's just the Hank Azaria of it all, really.
Yeah.
It is very funny, but problematic at some points. Do you have to check? Are you Googling my fact about when Lion King came out?
No, I'm Googling. Scar's real name is Ascari, apparently.
And it's like African for something. No, his real name was something, and it's like African for like reject or something. I read something.
So in the 1994 book, The Lion King, A Tale of Two Brothers, explored the relationship between Mufasa and Scar when they were younger.
Is Lion King Hamlet?
Yeah.
Yep. Yes, because yep.
So Mufasa is Swahili for king.
Yes.
And Scar wanted to be known as Scar after he got his scar.
Yeah.
Because he's a drama queen.
Yeah.
Basically.
He's a gay. Scar's gay. Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
I'm not outing Scar.
It's the campus thing in the movie.
It's like saying Robin's gay. I'm not outing Robin. Of Batman and Robin.
Robin, not Robin Williams.
No.
Robin's
I can
nipples
see how that's confusing.
gave it all away.
Yeah.
It's also revealed in that book that Scar's real name is Taka, which can either mean waste or desire in Swahili.
I thought it meant like shit.
Well, waste.
Waste, yeah.
So I think that's actually a great name because he's treated like waste, but desire, because he has such strong desires to be king. Oh, I just can't. Oh, that's not his song.
There's another funny meme about.
And then it's like, so they literally named their sons King and Trash, and wondered why the younger one hated the older one. Are you going to describe a meme?
No, not a meme, but I saw a tweet. It's like a tweet meme.
Yeah,
and it's just like, I don't get in The Lion King how Simba is all upset when Mufasa dies. Like, he didn't just do a whole song and dance number called "I Just Can't Wait to Be King." Anyway, that has nothing to do with the Birdcage.
It doesn't, other than actually nothing.
Would you like to know our overall score for the Birdcage on the Pride score?
Yes, which is out of 50.
Which is out of 50. And this
is high. It's definitely higher than Stonewall.
This is a 38.5.
Oh, that's good. That's high on the Archie Q De Niro scale as well. From Two Drink Cinema.
Yes, it is. That is 22 points higher than Stonewall. Because looking back on the Stonewall scores, the highest score I gave it was a 2.
You were harsh.
And most of the others were... Overall, I gave Stonewall a 0.5. So, it's only up from here.
Surely your adding up of Stonewall was less than you gave the dialogue of Birdcage.
My total Pride for Stonewall...
Out of 25 for you?
Yeah, was the same as my entirety score for Birdcage.
Oh, God.
So Roland, there you go.
Roland Van Emmerich, take some notes. Cast Nathan Lane in your next queer movie.
And I'm not a harsh judge at all.
No, not at all. Eye roll.
Eye roll.
What are we doing next week?
Eye roll. Don't know why to roll my whole head.
Well, because people are watching this on their phone on YouTube, so they have to
make it exaggerated.
Exaggerate it, yeah.
Just like Nathan Lane.
Okay. What are we watching next week? Are we watching the one that you thought I was going to give us to watch this week? By the way, listeners, while Brett has a look at the list, at Rainbow Popcorn Pod is us on the 3 socials that are relevant to people that aren't ranting about politics: Facebook, Instagram, Facebook.
Well, Instagram.
Instagram and TikTok,
Mm.
and Facebook at Rainbow Popcorn Pod. We don't have a Twitter for this one. And at the Two Brothers ENT is our whole thing. And Two Drink Cinemas, our other podcast. What are we watching next week?
Yeah, we're watching Pride.
Pride. Okay, good.
Pride, the 2014 British film called Pride.
Okay.
That is about pride and being proud.
It's funny.
It's funny. It's very good. I thought we'd do that compared to Stonewall in the hopes that it is a better portrayal of historic events.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for. I'll do some research.
From memory.
And we can, if you're in Australia, you can watch that on SBS On Demand with ads or on a Prime.
From memory, there's no pretty blonde twink shoved into the story just to make everyone enjoy it.
No. I think there's a pretty blonde in there, but it's actually a real person.
Yeah, it's actually relevant to the story.
Yes.
All right.
So we'll do Pride.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Rainbow Popcorn. Thank you, Brett, for watching and enjoying the Birdcage.
No worries, Lee.
Thank you. We'll be back next week with our review of Pride.
Bye.